517 to scanner control. 517 to scanner control.
You want a cup of Jawa juice?
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever edition of Jawa Juice Podcast. I got my Jawa Juice ready. I'm Josh, and that is Caleb. Caleb, you got your Jawa Juice?
Oh, of course I got my Jawa Juice with me. It's frothing and.
Are you a
boiling
Jedi by
and hot
looks of
and
them?
delicious. Oh, I am.
Oh, dude, let's go. Let's go, baby. Oh man, so we're excited to finally make this thing happen. It's been long in the works, you know, and getting it uploaded, getting it ready to go, and we're finally recording. So I'm excited, man. We're trying to approach this in a different way than like the normal podcast. So at the end of the day, it's going to be, you know, news, opinions, and then we're going to have kind of like a lot of fun. Hopefully near the end, sometimes in the middle, we're going to see how that works. But overall, we're hoping for it to be a pretty exciting experience, create a little bit of Star Wars community, and see what happens and go from there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, you know, you have as much fun as we do, or at least we'll have fun talking to ourselves or whatever.
I know. Yeah. So, I mean, as we develop and like as a podcast, as a community, obviously we're going to be able to, you know, create. Oh, I mean, yeah. We're going to be able to create like good drops and have fun soundboard effects and stuff like that. But we're starting off a little bit more basic right now, just with the segments and what we're talking about and all that. So with that said, though, I think we're going to hop right into the news right at the beginning because we got a lot to cover today. And hopefully this will be the long-standing, amazing experience, the podcast experience that we've all been waiting for.
Oh, for sure. Oh, man, Josh. Well, there's been a lot of news about that. You know, that one movie that's going to be coming out.
Oh, the one that falls, like, it's like episode 7 and episode 8. Then there's, like, the next one.
Yeah, the 9th one.
Whoa. Wow.
I know. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I
haven't heard about it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me know. Like, yeah, what's happening? I haven't caught up at all about it, you know?
So what has been going on is, well, we're not quite sure. With just rumors and speculation and just kind of chomping at the bit to seeing what's getting going. But we do have some kind of, there is whispers, you know, from around the galaxy that the trailer is going to be released during Avengers Infinity War, which is
Star Wars
extra bonus to see that movie, which is, you know,
yeah.
I'm super pumped for that movie.
Of course, but you know that's not Star Wars.
Yeah.
So who cares?
That's not Star Wars. Who cares? Yeah, I'm just there for the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I'll leave after the trailer. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs it? Dude, I'd go see just a terrible. I would pay $10 to see the Star Wars trailer. Probably.
Oh, I know. I mean, how much would you pay to see it right now? Oh. You'd be broke.
Well, I mean, a lot, because then like everybody'd be like, "Yo, what's on the trailer?"
Oh, I know, and they'd be like, "Yo, what's the Jawa Juice podcast?" They're dropping all this information, and we'd be like, "Ooh."
"Yeah, exactly."
Well,
we'd
have
have all the knowledge.
Yeah.
We'd gain a lot of Star Wars clout.
Basically, the trailer is going to be releasing, you know, with at Star Wars Celebration and then with Infinity War as well. So hopefully in April we'll have a good idea of what's happening, and we hopefully will be able to get a name of the movie before that, and then we'll get the trailer going into, you know, April and Infinity War.
So what do you think the name's going to be, Josh? You make a guess.
Man, with all those leaks and stuff, we've seen like Son of Darkness, something about the Resistance, like the Rise of the Resistance was like a rumor as well. I would love to see like some type of Son of Darkness-esque type thing, because I think everyone who doesn't like Kylo, man. I love Kylo, and at this point, with how episode 8, yeah, exactly. Episode 8 made him the best character, and I would love to see someone centered around Kylo with that, and we'll see what happens. That's definitely my vote.
Yes, I mean, I definitely think so. You know, I think thinking about that first movie really centered around Rey, and then the second iteration's kind of like really clearly both of them kind of got the same screen time most of the time, and now this one, if you could have it, you know, more so, you know, just, you know, flip-flopped more so on Kylo Ren, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
To have
but do you think that's the way that he's going to take the title, though?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, Star Wars Episode 9, it's better than the last one.
Yeah.
That's the title. That's
not
the title.
Episode 8. Star Wars Episode 9, not Episode 8.
It's not Episode 8. Yeah, I think Son of Darkness, something with Kylo Ren, or
Would you be
know,
pretty disappointed if they went like the Rise of the Resistance route, like kind of tried to focus it on the Resistance or something like that?
Yeah, because we didn't see the fall of the Resistance and the fall of the Rebels in the first place,
And we didn't see the Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, and and how is it going to rise? Like, how is it going to rise? We saw episode 7 and 8 were in such back to back. There was no way like that it could rise without a giant time jump, and that would kind of be unfulfilling and feel like that. Well, man, you just kind of wasted episode 8 by just making it so back to back.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of at the end of 8, we see the fall of the Resistance, but then the rumors are that it's going to be about a year in the future. From what we were able to tell, and from the small pictures we've seen from sets, it definitely looks like it's about to be roughly a year in the future or so. Which, I mean, it would be surprising if you call it like something along the Rise of the Resistance, if
because just a year for the whole galaxy battle, that's
I would say the Rise of the Resistance
it.
is a little bit less likely for me than something focused around Rey or Kylo. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, at the end of the day, once we see the trailer, oh my word, the internet's gonna explode. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
I'm excited
at all, but it's gonna be exciting.
And I remember JJ Abrams had kind of talked about in the beginning how he wanted this trilogy to mirror the exact opposite of the other trilogy, the last trilogy, the original trilogy. So if that were to be true, it'd be fitting for it to be about Kylo Ren and maybe how he rises in the order, or maybe he instead of Rey kind of becoming that in between light and darkness, it's Kylo Ren himself who does that. And
we'll see. I mean, it's kind of been like that already with his whole not wanting to kill his mom and then
killing his dad, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So we can move forward though. I mean, there's still a little bit more news to cover. Obviously, we'll stay with episode 9 for now. The rumors of this week have been that Anakin is going to be making an appearance in episode 9. Whether or not that's actually going to be a live shooting of Hayden Christensen, we don't know yet. But what the leak was saying from Reddit was that Anakin at least is going to show up as Revenge of the Sith outshoots, like shots that we haven't seen from Revenge of the Sith, that he'll be showing up as episode 9 as a Force Ghost type entity in some way or another, like in some type of vision potentially.
Yeah, which would again make sense that the movie would be more about Kylo Ren if that were to be true.
Yeah.
And kind of, and in that, in episode 7, it kind of hinted at, him talking to it with the mask and stuff, him talking to Vader. And obviously Hayden Christensen, in Revenge of the Sith becomes Vader. So,
whoa, don't spoil it.
Yeah, no spoilers or anything. But yeah, he was Vader even before Obi-Wan had the high ground. So
right. Yep. Like once his eyes turned yellow, But it would definitely be interesting. I personally am a huge fan of having Anakin in one of these movies. The other part of the news is that if they're going to be negotiating with Hayden Christensen to potentially do some reshoots with him in April. So if that's going to happen, that would be, insanely awesome news. And I'd be extremely, like I said, excited to see Anakin in episode 9.
Yeah, I know for sure. Anytime like all of the trilogies get a nod, I think it's a good thing. I just really think that's a good thing. Like when Organa, I forget the actor's name, like when he was in it.
Oh yeah.
In Rogue One, like that was nice. It's nice touches like that.
Fantastic.
Brings everybody together in a nice Star Wars way.
Oh, I mean, who wasn't happy about at the end of Solo when Darth Maul shows up? I mean, that was the freaking best part of the movie. It was literally the last 10 seconds. Seeing Darth Maul in an actual movie on the screen was just the coolest thing, and what made Solo what part made Solo so great for me. But yeah, with that, again, another piece of news, not related to episode 9 specifically, but to Star Wars content in general, was, of course, when it comes to the new TV shows and then the releases of upcoming films as well. So that was kind of some news of this week.
The Cassian Andor show, we already know about, and The Mandalorian, but one more show is supposedly in the works as well, or early production storyboard talking about.
Yeah, those early
we
stages.
have no clue. Yeah, we have no clue. There has been rumors that has been. So there was originally going to be an Obi-Wan movie, and then that kind of got shut down when Kathleen Kennedy and stuff were like, everybody needs a break or a breather from Star Wars
after Solo,
because
quote unquote tanked.
Yeah, but it was really more so about they talked about fatigue, but it was really more so after Episode 8, I think.
Yeah, Episode 8 killed the vibes for Star Wars for like a handful of months, like 6 months.
Yeah, for sure. And so then when Solo out, everybody was like,
Yeah, exactly.
We like Harrison Ford, yada yada. and so, they kind of ex-nayed the Obi-Wan for now, or pushed it back. But now it's rumored that it might be a TV show. It also could be,
that'd be awesome.
Completely something else. But there is a third show supposedly in the works.
That was reported by Phantom Tracks, and they've had a pretty good record of reporting things that are about to be produced, like The Force Awakens, Rogue One, The Last Jedi, and Solo. They were all the first ones to kind of report on that they were starting on production, and so that they were talking about that the third TV show was being produced as well, which could be Obi-Wan. We don't know what it is yet, and then a new movie is in the beginning productions as well, which is expected to be Rian Johnson's first movie of his trilogy, which will definitely be an interesting one. Who knows what's going to come of that and how the fans are going to react to that one, but. That is what the news was reporting, though, with Phantom Tracks.
Yeah, and that the news that Rian Johnson's trilogy got canceled was actually fake.
Which is really weird.
There was no facts based in it. It was just gut reaction from people, but most people took it as gospel truth. I did too. I thought, Rian Johnson wasn't going to get it, but
it got reported by multiple news, like Star Wars news sites, and I think somebody must have dropped the news and everyone reported it. I don't know. But yeah, that was definitely a weird thing. So, I think that basically does it for the news. Obviously, it'll kind of be the opening segment for a lot of our podcasts, just because we want to attack the most important news of the week. So, with that said, we're gonna go into a few segments. Obviously, we're gonna talk about some Episode 9 theories for our first episode, because who doesn't want to hear about Episode 9 theories? And then we're gonna do a little draft, and we're gonna draft some bounty hunters. So we're each gonna be taking the 4 of the best bounty hunters in the galaxy, and we're going to be doing like a little draft with them. So I'm excited for that one. It's kind of, like I said, we wanted to kind of revolutionize how podcasting works and create it more entertaining based, like podcasts talking about Star Wars. So we didn't want to just focus on the news and just focus on theories or something like that. We want to make it a little entertaining for y'all.
We didn't want to just like splash you with a bunch of information all willy-nilly.
And just our opinions, so have a little bit of fun with it. So with that said, Episode 9 theories, we kind of wanted to just address some of like the bigger ideas, and basically the question is like what we want to happen versus what we think will happen. Like, is there going to be a difference there? Is kind of what we're going to be attacking first. So take it away, Caleb.
Okay, so what I would like to happen is obviously going to be, it's most likely going to be very different is what is actually going to happen. But
yeah, thanks, Rian Johnson. Divert expectations. Come on.
Yeah.
Keep diverting. Or subverting. I'm sorry.
Happen.
Subverting.
Yeah, subverting.
Yes,
which is
of course.
Pretty much, doing an oopsie. Yeah,
classic Rian Johnson, subverting.
You think this is gonna happen? No. You want this? No.
Do you want Luke to pick up the lightsaber? No.
No. I will tear down everything that you thought you had.
Do you want Snoke to be a good character? No.
Yeah. So what I would like to happen is see Kylo Ren really developed into a great character this last movie.
Oh, he did. He did.
The Snoke line of, you're being split apart, the scar, that was all really nice stuff. Him just about to shoot down his mom, but he couldn't do it. That was nice. And just the whole Rey Kylo thing, just about letting the past die, and he still definitely has emotional attachments. He's not all just anger and rage. There's definitely a human in at heart in there, and he's just really confused on what to do. I'd love for them to play on that more, and for Kylo Ren to kind of come to some term. And I love the fact, probably the best part for me in Episode 9 is that he kills Snoke. At first I was like, dang, that hurts. But then I'm like, this is the first Skywalker to really take the reins and actually be in control and complete their mission. Because Anakin's, Vader's whole goal was to eventually, you know, overthrow the Emperor, but was never powerful enough to do it. Not until the end, when, you know, his son was on the line. And to see somebody becomes, and then to see him become supreme leader or whatever, the head of the first order is pretty exciting. But I'd like to see him do something with it. I'd like to see him either, you know, kill Rey or, you know, and kind of run the Empire the way he wants it.
Yeah.
Would be a pretty cool thing, and really a very shocking thing. I think that not a lot of people would see.
Okay, so do you think
Kylo
it's likely
Ren.
that that's going to open up the movie like that? Like where he's going to be dominantly in control? Because, I mean, considering it is a year down the road.
I think it's still going to
it's a
be
year
tough
down the
for
road.
him. I think it's still going to be tough for him. I don't know, because Hux is kind of weird because he wants the power too.
But do you really think
and
he's going? Do you really think that JJ is going to put a lot of effort into developing Hux as a character?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So yeah, maybe he's just in complete control. He's ruling with a whatever fist he feels like.
His iron black glove fist.
Yeah, and Kylo's whole kind of character arc thus far was to kill Skywalker. That was what he had been really wanting. So I don't know what his motivation is now. And so they're really going to have to develop that in episode 9.
I know. That's kind of the biggest issue with how episode 8 ended, because Rian Johnson, I mean, left basically nothing for JJ to work with. And that's kind of what everyone was talking about right after episode 8 was like, what's happening now? Like, what is JJ going to do with this? You know? And
yeah,
I mean, you have to at least take into consideration what he may have intended for in episode 7. And you'd assume that in a lot of ways he's going to try to do his best to get to that point with what he was hoping to get to. And man,
or whatever logical conclusion he does.
Yeah.
But I just really don't want to see Kylo Ren turn into just a big baddie, just a Lord Sidious. I'm going to take him down. That's it. He's evil. Because that's not what he is.
No, he's always been riding on the like right on the edge, leaning towards the dark.
Yeah.
But he's been on the side of the balance. The balancing of the Force has been, you know, it's kind of been a theme.
And really what pushed him over the edge was his master going to kill him. Like, yeah. And that's why he hated Luke so much, which I also thought was a pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting and origin story.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what, again, like how JJ interprets what Rian Johnson said about the Force in episode 8. So like if he takes into account, or he interprets the Force how Rian Johnson was, that means that now that Snoke and Luke are dead, like, because Snoke was on the far left spectrum of evil, Luke was on the far right spectrum of good, you know, supposedly.
And so yeah, now it's huge. So now they're both just even more powerful.
Rey and
but the
Luke
weird thing though is Leia's still alive, so, and she has a ton of the Force too. So you know, I think that makes Kylo Ren more powerful.
The weird thing about how Rian Johnson describes the Force in his, you know, in episode 8 is that there's this balance, and that, you know, the good rises to meet it, you know, in Rey. But like,
yeah,
I just feel like logically that doesn't make sense in the Star Wars galaxy, and a lot of fans had a lot of problems with that. So it's going to be interesting to see if JJ decides that's the case, or if it's more of an inherited, like, midichlorian perspective on the Force, where like midichlorian is somewhat genetic.
Yeah, and more of the, you know, that, you know, original trilogy is, it's just, you know, the more you study, the more you meditate, the better you get, you know.
Yeah, but you're born with a certain amount of natural. The more attuned to your
senses you are.
Yeah. And you're born with a natural amount of talent, basically, in midichlorian count, to be able to harness the Force like in that way. It was never really well explained, even throughout the Clone Wars and everything.
The Force is the Force, as you know. It's out there.
Yeah. But like at the end of the day, that's one of the things I'm really most interested to see is how JJ interprets the Force usage that Rian Johnson laid out, because I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, and there's a ton of new Force powers. Who knows? I mean, I could definitely see some new abilities coming.
Right, and with Luke,
because you see
Luke
looking like he's going to stop a bullet.
Right.
And then
he reads minds, and then you know, Snoke has complete control,
and now we see Luke can Force project. There's a lot of stuff, which I think there's always been a lot of different things everybody's been able to do. But I'd like to see an epic lightsaber battle between somebody.
Please.
a nice, beautiful choreographed dance, a dance of death. That's
we
what I'd like
need
to see.
one so badly, so badly.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict where it's gonna go, but I'd love to see Kylo Ren come out on top. I think more than anything, that's what I'd like to see.
Okay, yeah.
To see that the Skywalkers do rule the galaxy for a time, and you know, if Anakin was the dark side and Luke was the light, then Kylo Ren's just always going to be somewhere in the middle.
And Rey was always somewhere in the middle. She was called to the dark, and she didn't hesitate.
She went and explored it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that is the interesting situation here. You know, it's like, so say if Kylo decides to choose to be even more dark, does that mean that Rey will be even more light? You know, like, will they always just meet in the middle? I don't know. And again, that's something that JJ has to interpret.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Now, I want Kylo Ren to come up on top. I want him to kind of be this go in between, kind of dark, kind of light. Does it the way he wants to when he's feeling. But what I think is going to happen is we're going to see an even bigger death trap, an even bigger, planet killer, star killer base.
Really?
And I think
they wouldn't do that.
It's going to be safe. I feel like they're just going to go with the safe choice. Kylo Ren and Rey are going to fight, and he's going to have like the Knights of Ren with him. And at the end, because for no apparent reason, for no attachment, Kylo Ren's going to sacrifice himself to save Rey, and I'm going to be upset, and the light side's going to win, and Kylo Ren redeems himself right as the end, and we see him as a Force ghost with all the other Force ghosts, and I'm upset.
So it's going to be a happy Disney ending? You think it's just going to be a happy Disney ending?
It's going to be a happy Disney ending. It's going to be really cookie cutter. It's going to be episode 6. Episode 6
a parade
rescripted.
At the end.
Yeah, a parade, and you're just going to be really annoyed. Kylo Ren's going to die, and he's going to go just into this big baddie, and that's all he is.
So you just think you're going to be... Do you really think JJ would do that? Or do you think it'll be out of JJ's control?
I think he has control.
I don't think JJ would do that.
I think he's going to go with the safest choice possible. It's going to look nice.
Even like in like other movies that he's done, like it may end like where the good guy wins, but like rarely do you like feel perfectly good about it at the end. You know?
Yeah.
Just like in episode 7, the good guys won, but Han died right at the end of the movie. And Finn is near death, and they still don't know where, they still don't have like a full-on plan on how to win yet. But you do feel good at the end because they find Luke. But like, there's still a lot of questions.
And then Lando's going to come back, and he's going to fly the Millennium Falcon with Chewie, and they're going to destroy the big thing just like he did in episode 6.
I just feel like there's no way. They need to make sure it's new and fresh in the fans, but the fans still have to love it, which I'm sure they're going to do plenty.
Nah, because they're going to be too scared of what they did on episode 8. They're just going to revert right back to it. That's why.
Yeah, but that wasn't him though. That was Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson got to take all those bullets. So it's like, okay. So I think basically how I kind of, look at this is like there is only a handful of potential endings. So say you have Rey and you have Kylo. And so now basically either one dies or the other one dies, or they both survive and fight someone else. Those are basically the only two options. Or they both join together to fight someone else. That's what I'm saying. So like, and what I would love to see is Rey and Kylo aren't together, as in like they're not on the same side throughout the whole movie. But the Knights of Ren come into play, and they want to for whatever reason dethrone Kylo. There has to be some type of actual motive for it, which I'm sure they can probably come up with.
That's so hard though. Like how are we gonna make the Knights of Ren compelling in one movie when we've seen one brief vision in episode 7 of them?
But people are already so interested in them. Anyone who's like a fairly interested Star Wars fan a fairly dedicated Star Wars fan, it's extremely interesting.
For sure, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but man, you're gonna have to devote like a half hour of the movie at least developing them.
Because I mean,
at least.
Yeah, it's a situation where it's like, otherwise it's so predictable, right? Like, otherwise what you're talking about is going to happen. It's going to be Rey beats Kylo, and voila, that's it.
Yep.
I want to have more faith that it's not going to be that predictable.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think I'd be fine with that ending. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, and like it could come down to a situation where Kylo has to choose between
horse race for power.
Right. Yeah, it might come down to a situation where like Kylo does have to sacrifice himself to save Rey, like just like how you were saying. But in the situation, Kylo's dead. He's not really a good guy, but I just don't think that Disney would keep Kylo alive just because what would that say to like young people? Like he slaughtered a village, he killed his dad, he let his mom die, and now we're going to keep him alive? I just don't. How would they let that happen?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. It would be okay to see like Rey sacrifice herself for Kylo.
Yeah. But I just don't think that Disney would let that happen.
No.
Because I mean, if you're just looking at Kylo versus Rey, who's more likely to survive? I mean, come on. It's going to be the female Jedi. Disney loves it. Like, come on. Of course. Disney's not going to let that die. That's money. That's a money tree. It's just hard for me to believe that they're going to let someone who's done so many terrible things survive in a Disney movie of this magnitude, So
yeah,
I would love to see a Knights of Ren that's compelling.
The trajectory of Episode 9, I'm just scared. Like, I'd love for them to do something just like that we're not seeing and just make it awesome. That'd be exciting. If there's...
Yeah.
Is there a good way to end it? I don't know.
I think by far the best way is the Knights of Ren as the biggest, baddest guy. Because, like, what's the only way that could possibly
because you gotta keep Kylo a complicated character.
Yeah.
Because if you've given us so much, if you've tried to work so much depth in 2 movies,
internal conflict inside of Kylo, how do you just let that go?
And you just demean him to the bad guy role?
Yeah.
Like, that would really suck.
And the connection between Rey and Kylo is something extremely unique that we've never really seen in a movie franchise before, where the ultimate bad guy and the ultimate good guy are that connected, which is really cool. And one of my favorite parts about Episode 8 was how that relationship developed. But I really hope they're able to capitalize that on 9. Otherwise, it's going to be wasted, and I don't want it to be.
Yeah, it is a really weird relationship because they're very, like, they were both figuring it out together. Yeah. Like who they were in the universe, which is kind of interesting.
Which is really cool.
Like they're two, they're two, samurai, under the same master, trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in that way, I really love.
And people always say that like Star Wars is like the 7th samurai,
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. I definitely like it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think there's definitely a way to keep them both alive.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just
I don't know. Like, would you be if you walk out of the movie and Kylo Ren and Rey work together?
If they're both alive, how do you not make another movie? That's my biggest.
And they're
honestly
now
my biggest problem.
Ruling together,
but they wouldn't be ruling because they're not going to be. They have to be Jedi. But like, how do you if you keep them both alive? How do you not make another movie? Like, I feel like if in this situation, one of them has to die. So I guess that's the question. Okay, let's just go over that. Who do you think are the 4? Let's go 5. We're going to go 4 or 5 most likely characters to die. Who do you think's number 1? Is it Kylo?
To die?
Yeah, to die in Episode 9.
Oh, yeah, Kylo's 1.
Is Rey 2? Or do you
Poe.
think Finn or Poe's 2?
Finn or Poe are 2 and 3 in my mind. Leia.
Yeah, I think Finn's number 2. Poe's number 3. Leia? Really?
Yeah, I think Leia.
I think they're just gonna kind of let her be. Right?
Just be.
I mean, like she'll have like a small role in it, and for whatever reason, she's gonna like step back a little bit or something for whatever reason, and then they're kind of like.
But what if what if Leia's death somehow does something to Kylo, where he it's like the deathbed of Yoda type deal.
I mean,
and he goes to see his mom, and something like that happens.
What's weird is that we never
we
never actually saw footage in episode 8 of Kylo like reacting to his mom still being alive, right? Because we only saw him.
I don't know if he knows.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if he knows.
Because he just sees her blow up. You're right. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
I never thought about that till right now.
I never thought of it either. But maybe that's something like.
But would he sense her in the Force when she's like still alive?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm not sure.
But maybe that connection with Rey's muddled things up.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, do you think that connection will come into play in episode 9 at all? Like, are we gonna have more connected visions, or is that only because of Snoke?
I could see them maybe still being connected, but yeah, maybe Leia has something to do with Kylo Ren returning to the light.
Yeah,
she says something like they harken back to Padme on the deathbed. Where there's good in him. I sense it or whatever.
Oh man, it'd be interesting. I just don't know. Like, they just don't have much footage of her, So it's like, how creative can they get with the little footage they have?
Yeah.
So it just seems to me like they're probably just gonna have her in there because she's Leia and she needs to be there because she's still alive, even though she really probably should have just died there
write her
in
out.
episode 8. Thanks, Ryan Johnson. We got Leia Poppins, but I
mean,
I just don't know.
But think about it. They kept her alive. Maybe her role is so pivotal in the 9th movie that they just had to keep her.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. But that's the biggest issue is that do they have enough footage to make it work? I just don't know. I feel like it's hard to believe.
Tarkin CGC it.
Oh, please.
CGI.
I mean, hey, the Grand Moff Tarkin CGI was pretty solid. But
they were just really smart about it,
Yeah.
Shots of the foot, shots of the profile turned away
from behind, yeah. But okay, anyway, so you think Leia's 4th most likely to die?
Yeah.
I don't think Leia's gonna die. I don't think I'd put her in the top 5. I think Rey would be 4th for me.
Okay.
And then I guess for 5th though, who would be 5th?
Rose Tico.
All right, I'm down.
Rose Tico is the most likely to die.
She's already dead.
Yeah, no, yeah.
The fans killed her.
The fans. No, she'll get like a Jar Jar Binks role now, I believe.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of only barrier.
You see him in episode 2 or 3, but it's very brief.
It only makes sense.
You kind of just feel bad, and you feel bad.
It's so hard to imagine they actually like give her a decent amount of time on air. It's so hard to imagine.
But love is gonna win the resistance. Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Johnson.
Now it was worth it.
Oh, Ryan Johnson.
Now it was worth it.
Now it was worth it. Leave the kids in slavery.
Yep.
But the animals are free. All right. So with that said, I think we covered the episode 9 enough for this episode. But we're gonna move into our draft bounty hunter draft. So I do have the first pick. I won the guessing the number 1 or 2 yesterday for the first pick. But we haven't decided whether or not we're doing snake draft, which obviously as a person with the number 1 pick, I'd rather not do the snake draft.
Oh, we got to do the snake draft.
But long term, I think the snake draft's probably better and more interesting. So we will do snake draft, which means that I pick 1, then Caleb picks 2, then I pick 2, then Caleb picks, snake draft.
Exactly.
So,
all right. I'm very interested to know who you're going to pick first.
I
definitely have a guy who I really want first.
But you're not going to get him.
For my first
I'm going to
pick.
get him.
Dang
because the character the bounty hunter who has the most focus in canon and is probably the coolest is Cad Bane, who I am taking.
Dang it, Josh. Dang it. I love him so much.
Everyone
does.
He is
so cool.
Exactly. He's definitely the 101. He's 100% the worthwhile number 1 pick, and he's on my team.
Yeah.
Wait, are we picking just coolest? Are we picking like a team that's gonna fight and try to like? Are we picking an army?
Oh yeah, dude. We're like, think about it. Like we're setting up a team. Like there's
and my
a
bounty
person
hunters are
that we
hunting
need to
your
be
bounty
dead.
hunters, and your bounty hunters are hunting my bounty hunters.
No, I think there's like we got like there's a person that needs to be killed. First
And
person,
who's
you know,
most likely?
It's
who's
like
most likely to accomplish that goal?
it's like the Wild Wild West. Yeah, it's like with the
Okay,
team.
all right, I'm down.
You know?
I'm down.
We're Moralo Evol.
All right,
we're
perfect.
setting up our bounty hunter
I'm down.
teams.
All right, I took Cad Bane.
Okay. So
now you get 2 picks.
I have I have a couple.
Yeah. Now
I wanna know
I'm
if
really
it's
interested to
cheat-
see who you
it's-
pick here.
Are they?
Oh, we're doing
cheating
canon
is my
only,
real
by the way,
question.
guys. Canon only.
Yeah, I have some canon ones, but I want to know if it's cheating or not. Okay, my first one is Reiko Hardeen, who is really Obi-Wan Kenobi, disguised as a bounty hunter in the Clone Wars episodes.
That is
that cheating?
total BS. Yes. That is total
Dang
BS.
it, are you sure it's cheating?
Yes, that is cheating. That is
Dang
cheating.
it.
They have to have
Okay.
like a significant real role as a bounty hunter in their career.
Okay, well then my second one, which I'm also just going to test the waters, is Asajj Ventress becomes a bounty hunter after she's...
That one makes a little bit more sense because I can actually buy into that one.
Okay.
I'll give you that
Go
one.
on some bounty hunter message.
Because she was actually a
So that's
bounty
gonna
hunter.
Yeah, she is. And, I mean, dang, that's pretty nice. You have a...
It's kind of cheap, though.
It's pretty nice. if I can't have Cad Bane, then I will definitely take Asajj Ventress.
Yeah.
Because her skills are definitely second to none. She can do a whole mission by herself. So she doesn't need any help. And now this next pick is it's really a tough one for me, to be honest.
All right.
There's three. There's kind of three. But I'm gonna take the man who's just trying to make his way in the world. I'm gonna take Jango.
Oh man, I'm really
Jango.
disappointed I didn't get Jango. Dang.
He is a.
Have you ever made?
tamale.
Have you
I like it.
made it out to Coruscant?
Yeah, maybe once or twice. Recently.
Possibly.
I had to take Jango over Boba, just for the fact that he gets more screen time in the movies. The clones are copied after him. Boba is a clone of him. He's so cool.
But man, I don't know, man. But if you're playing Star Wars Battlefront, you're taking Boba, which is why I am taking Boba. Of course, I'm taking Boba. You have to take Boba there. See, this next pick's a little interesting for me, though. I don't know.
Boba's interesting because there's some people who they love him, but then there are Star Wars fans who are like, he's the worst character.
Well, I mean,
it's
in the movies,
it's more divided than you think.
Because in the movies, he got a little screwed. I mean, that was really unfortunate. Boba Fett. So
yeah, the nod.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he got a little screwed. Man,
very true.
See, there's a few guys who's they're okay, but I don't love them. Like Clone Wars ones. It's just I mean, I may as well go with the duo. I'm gonna take Aura Singh also from the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
But there's definitely other people who I really want, but I'm gonna go with Aura Singh. So, hopefully, one guy who I really want gets back to me. So, all right, you're up. These are your last 2 picks.
All right, I'm very excited. This man's slipped to me, and that is Embo.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is so cool in the Star Wars: The Clone Wars. he's such a BA.
That was kind of who I was
looking
looking.
Like a Captain America shield.
I was looking at him. I was just,
around.
I just don't. I don't know. He doesn't connect with me.
He tallied up the second most bounties besides one man, Cad Bane. So, pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good for the Clone Wars. He's definitely a nice pick. I'm definitely glad. And this last one is really where it gets tough. Man, again, if Dirge was canon, I would have picked him a long time ago. As I was saying, it's very sad that he's not canon. Hashtag, make Dirge canon. His comic books about him, so cool. All right. This is a tough one. This is tough because there's just a cluster now.
I know.
There's a
You could take
slew.
anyone.
And it's just who do I like the most? Who do I want? Since I've taken, I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna go with IG-88. I'm gonna add the robot.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the assassin droid IG-88. You know, to make sure I get that second. You know, it was between him and Bosk and Dengar. It's really tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between all
I
those
know.
guys.
I know.
And there's also Zuckuss and Forlom in there.
Come on, you
all
don't
those
want
bounty
Greedo?
hunters. Yeah, Greedo gets shot right away. Now, like,
But we
Greedo's his voice.
Hey,
and
Greedo's
I
sweet.
love the Rhodian look.
Mm-hmm,
You know, I love the Rhodian look, but he gets blasted like right away.
Well, I mean, right away. We don't know what the rest of his career held. I mean, he was obviously an established bounty hunter at that point, in canon.
Oh,
at least,
dang it.
You know?
Dang it. Can I recant?
No,
definitely.
no. Once you say your pick, that is the pick. That is the pick.
I'm pissed. I know you're gonna pick him now,
And I'm taking Bosk
okay. Well, that's fine.
because Bosk is freaking sick, and I like Bosk a lot. And come on, he's got a lot of story behind him too, which is pretty cool. So, Bosk, I think my squad's freaking fire, and my squad definitely wins.
We both neglected it.
Who?
It's because he is so recent. It's Woody Harrelson's character.
Oh,
yeah, that hurts.
ouch!
That hurts.
He's so sick.
That's why I said, can I recant?
Oh man,
That's pain. How do we leave him on the board?
I mean,
he's way cooler than Bosk or IG-88. He killed Aura Singh. It says that in the movie that he killed Aura Singh.
dang, you're right.
Oh, I'm upset.
Oh, I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Technically,
we're sorry.
if we were
we let you down. We let you down. Tobias Beckett.
Yes.
Wow. And Rio was pretty cool. But yeah, there's a ton of new bounty hunters. But man, how do we forget Tobias Beckett, the guy who killed Aura Singh?
All right. So what's your squad? What's your squad?
All right. So since I didn't pick Tobias Beckett, even though I'm very upset. So I picked Asajj Ventress, Jango Fett, Embo, and IG-88. It's pretty good. If I had Beckett,
Pretty garbage.
I would for sure be beating you.
Well, I have Cad Bane, Boba Fett, Aura Singh, and Bosk. So I got Bosk and I got a boss team. You see how that goes? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
easy dubs for me. All right. So to say
I
this,
don't think that's true. I don't
easy
think
dubs.
that's true.
So with that said, though, we're gonna put this poll up on our Twitter. So our Twitter is down in the link below if you're on YouTube, and our Twitter is at Star Wars Study on Twitter if you guys are listening it on another medium. And with that said, guys, this was the first episode of Jawa Juice, the Star Wars podcast from Star Wars Study. And man, it was a good one. Any closing remarks, Caleb?
That was a lot of fun. We're sorry, Woody Harrelson. Oh, bounty hunter.
Well, Tobias did it all, So that is it for the Star Wars Study. I'm hyped you guys tune in for the first episode. Next episode will be coming out next week, and we'll be doing this weekly. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter, and we will see you next time. See ya.